I mean, I don't remember much.
We'd gone to a few bars, had some drinks.
A few more drinks.
Really quite drunk at the time.
Brought up that we might go down the road and
Smell flowers together.
We all went down from the kitchen and we went and sat in the park.
go under the little pyramid thing.
And we sort of sat there just having a nice time, and then
we light the funny
Flower.
You know, having a nice night. Everyone was quite tipsy
We just kind of passed it around a few times, it was all kind of chill, we were just standing talking.
and we were just passing the
Flower.
around.
It hit us quite quickly.
It's all fine. It's all going well.
It got to the point where Finley just kind of finished it off because no one else could have any more.
And then after a few drugs, I started feeling a bit, you know, the sort of fainting thing where you sort of, your ears go, everything starts going a bit white.
in the corner of my eye, I saw Jacob sort of like start to swirl a little bit, and then all of a sudden he sort of like fell, collapses over sideways.
Just
Stiff like a board.
like that.
And he smashed his head, and we were really scared because we thought he might have had like a seizure to start off with.
Kind of looked over at him and so he was kind of like shaking.
People saying he was bleeding. I'm freaking out. I'm like, Jesus, what's happening?
Everything stops.
The quickest change in mood I've ever seen in my life.
And then I woke up. And between hitting my head and waking up, I had like a full-blown dream.
Molly and I rush over to Jacob.
And I felt a bit really confused and quite sick.
Molly ends up like picking him up and like holding his head in her lap. And I sort of cupped his head a little bit where we've got like a bit of a graze. And we were just sort of talking, and then Belle came along just calling him a knobhead. Molly is still like, she's sobered up instantly, and she's like, Holly, go call the ambulance.
Kind of got my phone out and dialed it, and I was like, I'm too gone to talk right now. Or I was like, I'm not going to be able to get the words out. So I gave my phone to Holly, and she kind of spoke to them and was like, where are we, what's the address? And I just gave the address of like the accommodation, which was around the corner, because that's the only kind of address I knew from around there.
I head up the road to head the ambulance off at the corner.
And they parked outside the accommodation, but I was around the corner at the park.
So we're running down towards the ambulance, like yelling at the paramedic, like, "No, we're sorry, we got the address wrong. He's in the park." The Res Life lady and the security guard, they came, and they were really stressed because obviously they've been searching. Apparently they came up into the flat and were trying to find him and went into his room.
The ambulance arrived and a security guard from the accommodation came, and my girlfriend, sort of under the arms, carried me to the thing, and I started feeling quite sick when I stood up and just started spewing out, kind of like you know when you warm jam up and it goes a bit more liquidy. It was like that.
And then I obviously start to feel a bit unwell myself.
Finley came and like sat down. I think the shock hit him.
And I felt so guilty. I felt so sham.
I was more worried about him at one point.
And kind of Finley looked very out of it. He went like white.
I told Bush to be sick with Belle, and we were trying to get someone else who could like hold him up because she was kind of struggling.
So I was kind of shouting over to Felix, who was sitting nearby, and to help hold him up.
And I don't remember much else of the night. I remember really vaguely someone explaining to a paramedic that it wasn't that they weren't rung for me.
I felt very sick and very like I kept on kind of coming in and out of. I don't know if it was like consciousness or just kept on falling asleep. They said that they were going to keep me in just so I'm not like wandering back on me and like.
I think Bryony and I head upstairs and like sit in her room.
Like just after us came Finley, who was being held up by two of the girls from the other group. Apparently he'd thrown up in the toilets on the second floor, thinking it was like our floor, and then came up to our floor and kind of continued throwing up in literally every single toilet. And so I sat in my room by myself for a bit, and I was freaking out. And then I got really stressed out that there was like something in the flower.
Are we like gonna die?
And then I was kind of in the toilet. I felt like I was going to throw up. But Finley opening the door and me like move, and then so I just ran like by his legs.
I remember hugging a toilet bowl.
In hindsight, this was obviously very stupid, as it is basically rule number 1: don't drink before you.
Smell flowers.
I hadn't met these people for any more than 5 or 6 hours, and suddenly we were all having to like bond together to, you know, deal with this situation.
It's just so emotional.
It's fine now. It's fine now.
And I walked home, feeling very embarrassed and dirty.
Good night.